sometimes people are going to be against you, but if you stay true to who you are, then you have that peace of mind, of like in your heart that you can hold on to. And they'll either catch up or they won't, but it gets better and you'll find freedom.
So before we start this episode, we want to acknowledge that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have been having yarning circles on these lands for thousands of years.
Yeah, and the land that we're recording these episodes on is the land of the Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation. And so we just want to pay our respects to their elders, past and present.
And acknowledge that there will be people, all of our listeners, that will be listening on various lands across the country.
Yeah, it always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Go willingly. You can do. Welcome back to another episode of Queerfully Made, the podcast where we talk about the intersection of faith and sexuality and gender. My name is Ben, a gay man from Melbourne.
And my name's Aaron, an ex-pastor and gay man from Melbourne as well. And today we have extra special guests on the podcast, Gaz and Jesse Dutlow. They went from finding their voices on a megachurch stage to Jesse coming out as non-binary and having to start life over and find new ways to express their creativity. So welcome.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Exciting. The first time in our whole lives, Gaz is taller than me. But I do look up to you, Gaz. With that chair all the way up.
I'm perched on that.
Thanks for having us, y'all. It's so exciting.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so
you've got the first question.
I've got the first question.
Okay.
Here it is. You have gone from leading thousands of people into the presence of God on a Sunday morning in church to then leading thousands of people to standing ovations in theatres all over the country.
Oh my gosh.
What is it like to be taking that glory away from God and receiving it from yourself?
Oh no! But we always give it right back. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
That is so funny you ask that. I remember doing the sing-along performance of And Juliet here in Melbourne, and it was around Easter time, which is a real sensitive time of year for me and Gaz.
me. Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get into that. And it was like being back in church. Except instead of shout to the Lord, it was giving hit me baby one more time.
And they had the TV with the lyrics on and everything. Yes.
And it really like broke me. It took me back to that place of like, wow, like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. So honestly, I don't see it now as much different. And I think that it was preparing me for what I do now. To dig deep into emotions and to portray that. I think we were doing that in church. We were like really digging deep. We weren't just like going through the motions and singing.
Yeah.
It was like trying to let our true selves connect with God. Like it was doing that.
Yeah.
And I do think that in our way, we have found ways of doing that on stages in performances.
Yeah. And churches will never say this, but there is a performance element, right?
100%.
Come on.
100%.
Yeah, there's a performance element to leading worship. And yeah, so
Darlene, one of the skinny ones on stage. That's not performative.
no,
100%.
so
Fit that bill.
But it was like ways to hold your mic, how to clap along without disrupting the sound, and then all the lights and smoke and like, come on, the Pentecostal church. It was giving.
Come on.
It was giving K-pop Demon Hunter. It was giving that. Like some of these churches were giving that. So yeah.
don't give them. I bet that there have been some churches that have done an item. You know, demon hunters. We slay the demons in this church.
My goodness.
Release them.
Yeah.
So take us back to the glory days in church. Describe what it was like. Like what was life like?
Oh, we loved it. I loved it. Yeah. We were first taken to City Life Church when I was 14.
Youth group days.
Youth group days.
Yeah.
And our previous church, I didn't want anything to do with youth group because of bullying and things. And I just didn't want a bar of it. And so when we got to this church, everyone was really welcoming and like, come along. And I was like, I'll go once. And just kind of fell into this community of young people and made really close friends. You know, we did, what was the slogan? Share meals, do life, you know, something like that.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was that.
Yeah.
And more than more than just like a Sunday at 10 or a youth group on Friday night, it kind of, the relationships just became our whole life. We were meeting all the time and hanging out all the time. And I don't know how else to explain it, but I just really loved it. And when we were finally asked to be on the worship team and then eventually asked to lead worship, it felt like, oh, this is what I'm meant to be doing. Like, this is
what I've been working
this is what
towards.
this is like God's
100%.
gifts. I'm using the gifts that God has given me to bring people into the presence of God. And, so those were good days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I can look back and see the good in it now. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There was some good.
Well,
Obviously didn't
community
end
and
well.
friendship
Right.
and belonging
Yeah,
and
it
all
was
of those
great.
good things.
And
Yeah.
there was we've said it before, and we say it all the time. There's elements of it that set me up to do what I'm doing these days.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
I gained so many skills that I don't take for granted, and I know
Yeah.
that it came from my time there.
Absolutely. When it comes to music, like that's how we learn to do what we do. Like there's no, not saying there's no gift without the church, but like that's where we like got to develop our talent.
Where
is
else are you singing multiple times a week?
No, at early in the morning, then
Yeah.
it's Christmas production. It's like giving 8-show week. So it's like, it's actually. So it's
You
like,
ain't getting paid.
So it's giving Bible, it's giving like musical theater training. Low key.
100%.
So, yeah.
Did you have a favorite worship song?
Yeah, I did.
Gaz does. I'm trying to think mine.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
It's Easter. Like anybody else could do Christmas. I was always asked to do Christmas, but I would have been happy to sit Christmas out if I got to lead Easter Sunday. Like I loved Easter because
Resurrection Sunday.
like that's the day we
He
want.
has risen.
It's low key the
That's the
tea.
day we want. Come back, baby. I think it's kind of like it's kind of gaggy that they tried to kill him and he came back.
You were going for main character energy. You know what I mean? Like that was very.
You can't keep a man down.
And so I
Graves into
love
gardens.
I love the song "Risen" by Israel Houghton and New Breed.
yes.
I'm not gonna sing it, but the bridge is like the same power that crushed the enemy. The same power lives in me. I'm like, yes, it does.
Yeah, it's
and
country.
it was.
It's country.
Yeah, it is.
Risen. He's risen.
And Gaz,
a worship song.
and
with
Gaz,
drums
there was like a
country.
Darlene version of the song.
No,
and
we
Gaz
didn't
was
do
like,
that. We didn't
Gaz
do
like,
the
no,
Darlene version.
give me the black
We wanted
R&B,
that
like
version.
stabs in the band, like Gaz was like, give me that.
Israel.
Yeah,
Like, if they let me lead that song now in a heel, it'd be too powerful.
It would be.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
let's
Let's do a Quiverly made Easter special.
I'm
Now
there.
we're
I just want to see
talking.
their
And
faces.
now
and the
we're
crowd being
talking.
Like,
Yeah.
What is going on?
What is going on?
Now we're talking.
That was my favorite to lead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours?
I think the one that comes to mind is, what's the one that goes, when night has fallen, when fear is coming, still
Echo.
you're holding. Yes.
Echo?
Your
Melody.
love is your love is holding on just like an echo.
Yeah.
It was a Torrin Wells song, and it was just like a little R&B pop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime
Little
we
boss.
could. Yeah.
Elevation.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved that song.
That was.
Yeah.
And that was coming out when I started leading worship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
that.
like my vibe.
And straight into leading worship? Like, were you like
No.
backing vocals first? Like,
yes.
how
You
was
never go straight into
How was
leading.
Definitely.
Some have gone straight in.
My first experiences leading worship were, I think, at Bible college, like at Hillsong.
right.
I remember
Because
going,
obviously that's what I was studying, worship ministry.
my siblings working, my siblings leading worship at Hillsong. I was like, oh my gosh,
Gotta go
we're
on the next
making
flight
it.
up.
And like Gaz would be leading worship back home, and we'd be like, what Bible verse are you sharing? But I think, my first experiences leading worship were there. And then when I got back from Bible college, I was like, I'm ready. And they were like, no, you're not. And I was
You
like,
gotta show
okay.
humility, sister.
I was like, okay.
They love that word.
I was like, whatever you say.
What
Yeah.
Bible verse were you sharing for your little mini preach? We used to call it a mini preach.
A little
Mini
mini.
preach.
Every time a worship leader started
Yeah.
going, we're just like, mini preach.
Love a mini preach.
You know, I just had this feeling this week.
I think my mini preaching kind of started probably a bit more harsh. By the time I was nearly ready to finish at church, I became just way more empathetic to the people that aren't raising their hands, the people that don't want to sing out loud. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you to. I get you. Yeah.
So tell us what got you to that point.
Ooh.
What was it that took passionate Gaz, who was singing Risen, to
Yeah.
Yeah.
not wanting to raise your hands or sing?
So in 2018, I started deconstructing or started questioning. It was probably just questioning then. And I was like, I'm not buying it anymore. If my sexuality and my queerness is really that big of an issue to God, why is it so amazing every time I lead worship? And I don't mean I'm amazing, like the experience, like the atmosphere in the room, which we would call the Holy Spirit, bringing people together. Why is that so amazing if like this secret that I'm hiding from everyone, not my not my sibling or mum and dad kind of knew, but it's under the, keep it quiet.
Yeah.
If that's the case, if being queer is wrong, why is this working out so well? Why am I getting all of these awesome opportunities in the church? So I just started pulling on that thread and finding, it's dangerous. And I was like, ooh.
It becomes a mess.
It becomes
Such a mess.
So by 2019, we were still leading, but I had been like, I'm totally okay with who I am. There's I'm no longer leading or ministering from a place of shame. I can love myself and then love my neighbor exactly how I love myself.
Oh, I love that.
Don't tell anybody in leadership that that's where I was at. Like, that was just my
Yeah.
personal...
I think they've all deconstructed too now.
Some of
back
them
then.
have.
Yeah. And so I was, passing books to Jesse and because our stories are so different, but also so close and similar experiences together and apart. So I was passing things to Jesse and like, you have got to read this or you've got to listen to this podcast do you want to go to the next part?
I don't know what you're thinking. It's the next part.
So who came out first?
I came out
came out
first.
first.
Yes.
Publicly, yes.
Publicly.
Yes.
Who came out to each other first?
Oh,
We weren't just outed to each other, to be honest. Was like,
Dad was like, what was this on the computer? And I was like,
me? No, you.
I'm pretty good at deleting it. So it was, for a very...
I think we were super young when we like realized that each other were like, we were both in the same boat.
Yeah.
But
And did you know how to put words to it?
No, we
No,
don't have
not
language.
at all.
Yeah,
No, not
because
at
growing
all.
up in church, that's the trouble is you're so sheltered from
Yeah.
the rest of the world that I didn't know how to describe the feelings I was feeling at 13.
Yeah,
And
absolutely
so
not.
many of the language that we had available was only really given to us by our bullies. Like,
Yeah.
like I learnt what gay meant because someone called me that.
Yeah.
Gender hadn't even come into
Yeah.
it yet.
Although
Like-
that is a big part of the issue. It's
Oh,
the femininity
100%.
that...
100%. We were getting clocked from early days. Like, there was one kid who was like, "You're gay," and then was like, "No, changed my mind. Boys are gay. You two are lesbians." And we were like, I was like, "Not you
Kinda.
clocking me." Like, back then, it was obviously like the most hurtful experience.
Yeah.
But like looking back, I'm like, well, little Jonathan kind of had his eye on us. But why was he so obsessed? Like, he was kind of obsessed with us. So there's that. But
Can't help it.
I came out when I was on my 25th birthday.
Weird.
So long after Bible college, like not long, but like Bible college like broke me in ways that I wasn't prepared for it to. The way I was like completely outed in ways like, and
do
just
you
like,
mean?
well, outed in the sense of like, pressured to reveal things about myself.
We don't want
Very,
to
like-
let you onto this.
Like
into
day
this
one,
yeah.
it's like, welcome. And then we're going to talk to you one-on-one in this room. And it's like, why are we like, why is all this pressure? And like things just came out of me under that pressure that I wasn't ready to share.
Yeah, it's
And
like being in an
then they used
interrogation
that
room with the light and
100%. And then they
Like
used that
this.
information against
Welcome.
me and excluded me from certain teams. So
Yeah.
no children's ministry for you, no youth. You can go here. And they like excluded me to this outskirt of the church community. And I was like, that's not what I came here for. Like, that's kind of crazy.
And that was day one.
And it was literally day one of college.
And just
So-
because I'm gay or non-binary does not mean I'm going to touch a child.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Like, what an absolute nightmare. It was such an awful experience to be like perceived in that way. I was just like,
And how many people lied on that first question
Yeah.
and were just like, okay, you can
Yeah.
go. Like,
yeah. So
I remember in season 1, Andrew Sloan said the same thing. He was at Hillsong, he was singing on the albums, and then he just revealed that he was same-sex attracted. And they referred him to
A therapist.
therapist who specialised in pedophilia.
it's crazy.
And I was like, hang on.
Yeah.
just
Wait a minute
so
now.
Which
Wait a
makes
minute.
things
So sad.
way worse for him, and the
Yeah.
story continues. But
I'm
yeah,
sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It all, like I said, we can all, like, we realize that it all informs where we are now and how we're able to
Sure.
have empathy and, like, it informs our, like, heart to take care of people and be like mother. Like, there's so many young queer people that look up to both Gaz and I and look to us for that family, for that care, because we're able to give that to them. So,
Yes.
yeah. I'm grateful that it happened in ways, but obviously it was just so awful at the time.
Because there's that whole, I love the part that you described first, because it's the coming home to yourself and then like figuring out for
Yeah.
you, coming home to you, finally acknowledging that part of you that's been suppressed for all of those years.
Yeah.
And then sharing that with the world.
Yeah.
Right? It's in two parts. So what was that like?
Yeah. So, like I said, 2019, I was still a primary school teacher and just really comfortable with who I am. And I started sharing with close friends outside, actually just at work, nobody at church quite yet. And so school was just this awesome, supportive place where I could just kind of be myself. And then at the end of 2019, the church asked, we've got a position as creative ministries pastor. Would you...
Everyone's dream.
Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And so I teed it up with school that I'd work 2 days a week in the art room and 3 days a week at in creative ministries, which was just so cool because I got to work with awesome singers and musicians and develop productions. And I was like, so exciting. And then bam, COVID. Like,
March 2020.
yeah, like
Yeah.
pretty much bam COVID. And I remember them announcing it around Christmas, December 2019. And in January, my boss, Kim, who is still a very close friend, calls me into a cafe, like, these catch-ups. And I was like, I don't know what this is about. And Kim was like, look, we've given you the job. And there have been some people in the church that are not happy that we've given you the job because they think we are pushing an agenda, a gay agenda. And I, again, being comfortable with who I am, I was like, look, Kim, you're a friend. Like, yeah. And now what? Like, if you need me to resign, like, I'll be out of here. Like, I'm on 6 months probation. I can just say that it wasn't going to work out with school. Like, because I wasn't out publicly. I hadn't posted it to Instagram or...
Neither had I at that stage.
And at this stage, correct me if you're on the same page as me, but I was still very much of the, like, this is who I am, but, like, celibacy is quite an option. Like, there's,
Sure.
you know what
yeah,
I...
like we weren't
like-
in these streets back then. Like we were not.
Work in the streets.
No, we were not. We were not dating. We were
Like,
not
it was
doing
just
that.
an
Yeah,
ex-
back
it
No
was-
then.
yellow pages, no gay yellow pages.
It was literally just an acceptance of, like, this is who I am, and these are the kinds of people that I'm attracted to. And that's just for me at the moment. And so...
And they still weren't okay with it.
So I said this to Kim, and Kim's like, Gaz, we love you, and I know your heart for worship, and that's why you're good for this job. So if you want to still be in the role, you can still be in the role. I just have to tell you that this is happening because I can't, hire a bodyguard like Brian Houston to block congregation members from coming and approaching you at church. So I was like, cool. Then we go into lockdown. Much easier to just be on a stream.
Right.
And then during that, Jesse, I remember the one night we were having a movie night at mine, and Jesse was like, I think I'm going to come out publicly on my 25th birthday. And I was like, yeah.
The drama.
No,
I was like-
it was the big
I was like-
drama.
Awesome. And just mentally, that was their birthday's 1st of March. I think we were in October at this time prior. And I was like, we have until March until we lose church. Like, I knew that would probably be the outcome.
Oh, right.
And
I
so
think it was a bit later that I decided.
don't know
I was
why think it was
thinking
around
things,
then.
but you gave me, Gaz gave me a book called Unclobber. I'm sure you know of it, by Colby.
Martin.
Yeah, Colby Martin, and that was like the final straw for me. It like broke me in the best way. I listened to the audiobook. I suck at reading. I'm studying to be an English teacher, but I suck at reading. Well, I'm getting better at it.
You are.
But yeah, I like finished it and just like wept, and then I was like, I guess I'm ready. Like, I'm afraid, but like not in like a like, oh no, I can't do it. I was like, yeah, like I would rather just like live my truth, and it's time for me to like 25. Like that's like if I make it to 100, that's a quarter of my life that I've given to like all of these ideas, and like I just want to like be true to myself. So yeah, I think it was around New Year's that I decided to do it.
So-
but it was probably in the lead up to.
After Jesse telling me that, I just went into like big sibling, like planning, preparing mode of like, we will need a community once Jesse comes out. And so we were very selective about the church friends that we told, like, hey, this is the case. Jesse's going to do this for their birthday. And like, we don't know what's going to happen with church, but we love you guys. And we hope that we can, still be in relationship with one another. And everyone that we approached was like really, oh my gosh, and just embraced us. And we were very supported in that time, in the lead up.
And it happened.
And I remember we were going to the city for Jesse's birthday. We were going to have sushi. And I just texted Kim, my boss, who was the pastor of our site out in the southeast. And I said, hey, Jesse's going to do this today. Just FYI. And Kim was like, thanks for the heads up. And it just,
Yeah. Then I posted it on my Instagram and Facebook, and I said, like, thanks for all the birthday love, BT dubs. Super queer. No, it wasn't like that. But yeah, I came out as queer. So I think I came out as bisexual. So again, gender hadn't come into it yet. We didn't know what that was yet. Well,
literally.
Again, there were questions, but I had no answers yet. So I
no
came
frame of
out.
context.
Yeah, I came out as queer as the best way that I knew how, and came out as bi. And yeah, it was a kind of a like cycle at our church where I'm wearing this today because I said to Mum, I was like, Mum, what do I wear? And then I was like, I know what I'm gonna wear. I wore this the first time I led worship. Yeah, this like little diesel number,
promise.
and
Promise of
there was
God.
like this like cycle of like anytime like Gaz and Jesse like step out of that like box that people have put us in, whether it's like lead worship or become a new role or step into a new role, then there's like the feedback comes in from the church members of like, this is not okay.
Probably a very small minority, and I could probably name them.
But they're the most vocal.
But they're the most vocal,
hugely
absolutely.
vocal.
They sound like
and
they're a much bigger number.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what? This isn't even the gay flag. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Zoom it in.
come on.
There are
hang
only
on.
4 colours here.
That's not even green.
Hang on, wasn't the rainbow gods first?
Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, so I was like, what? Anyway, and so yeah, when I came out, it was like, I was scheduled to lead worship that Sunday. I think my birthday was on like a Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But like that Sunday I was scheduled to lead worship, and like all of a sudden it was like, maybe we don't need you to lead worship this week.
And,
Like,
like,
let's just like
I'm
protect.
creative ministries pastor. I'm
you're the one who
like,
gets the
I
call
gotta
now.
fill the roster. So tell me what's going on with my sibling because I need to fill it. Like, do we get someone else? Like, or is just
I'm not ashamed. Like, put me up there.
me up.
Like, I'm going to lead
Put me
worship
in.
the same way I would do. And like, we're not going to sing, I don't know, RuPaul's Drag Race on Sunday. Like, we're not singing that. Like, no, we're not coming out with Gaga this week. Like,
Yeah. Born this way. Just get straight into it.
like, we're literally doing Echoed and Risen. That's what I mean. Like, it's
Yeah,
not even
period.
anything like that. So I was like, no, I'm good to go.
But
And they
wait,
were like,
isn't that your decision though about who goes
No.
on stage? Oh, okay.
Well, yes, I did the rosters with my gorgeous assistant Kay.
Right.
But it's
above you.
above
It's
me.
above you as
It's
the
above
final
me.
call.
this
Right.
decision was
Got
coming
it.
from above them.
Okay.
And so
And it was under the guise of like, we want to protect you, Jesse.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to like, you know. And I was like, oh, cool. So like, not knowing, but I had led worship at that church for the last time before I came out without knowing.
Wow.
Which is like, I was just like, that's not fair. Like, so yeah, like all the sacrifices Gaz and I had made. And yeah, very soon after that, it was like, we're just kind of having meetings, and like I would get called in to step into meetings. And I think Gaz was with me for a couple of them just as like a support person. But soon after that, they like told me that they were standing me down from all leadership that I was practicing
including
at this-
youth and
Yeah.
life group leading and
life group leading and youth and dance and creative ministry. So I was like, cool. And weirdly, they invited.
but you can still come.
Yeah, they
we'd
invited
love
us
you to
to.
come and
Yeah.
Like they invited
backstage.
me
You
to
can still,
stay.
you can
So
still,
welcome.
you and your
Love you to
family,
tithe.
you and your family are
They
so
would love
loved.
a tithe, which wasn't much. Trust me, it wasn't much.
Wasn't that Anne Juliet money?
we weren't in that money yet. No, I was like working at Village Cinemas at the time. Like, I was
yeah.
like, there was like not much money. So I was like, no, like that doesn't sit right with me at all. Like there got to be a church out there that would accept me for who I am. And I was like, I'm gonna like wrap things up nicely. I'm not gonna just disappear because there was always like people in church, and not necessarily queer folk that came out and then disappeared, but just people that like disappeared from our community. And I would be like, what happened to that person? And then they were just gone. Like they never came back. They never stayed in touch. And I didn't want that to be the case. Like
Yes.
I knew like the kids that I was mentoring in youth were going into year 12, and I'd been with them since year 7. And I was like, that's not fair on them. Like soon they're going to be able to make a decision on whether or not they want to be like, if they want me in their life outside of church. Like they're about to turn 18 and make those decisions for themselves. And I was like, I don't want to just like deuces. So I made sure that I told them the truth about what was happening to me and why it happened. And I didn't stand down anything of like my pride in who I was. I said like, this is, you know, and I say kids because that would have been labeled like a boys group, but it was a gender diverse group.
Yeah.
Like we now know there's
Yeah,
queer folk in that group, there's trans people in that group. And so, like my hope was to like stay and lead them, but I wasn't allowed to do that. So eventually I left, and I believe that Easter Sunday was the final service that we attended, all the 4 of us as a family.
Yeah.
And then I just was like, I guess I'm just going to start looking for a new church. And I didn't end up actually doing that. It just didn't feel like something I wanted to do. But we kind of, you know, Gaz still had a job
I still had a job, like, and
to do.
that was the thing. Around that time, Victoria was changing the laws, like that you could no longer pray the gay away.
Yeah.
And I was still very much like in this job, and I had come out to my boss when I took the job, and I was like, "You've just, you know, stood my sibling down. Why is it not the same for me?" And it came to, like. It's probably the law. You can't you can't fire someone for being gay, queer.
Hasn't stopped him before.
well,
Not just church, but just in general.
And so I resigned. I remember, and everyone was shocked that I was resigning. I was like, "Are you kidding?" Like,
Yeah.
like.
Have you not seen
Have
what
you
has
not-
just gone down? Yeah.
And so I resigned, and I just really wanted to. This is such church language, but I wanted to finish well.
Yeah, I was going to say that when you said that
I wanted
before.
to finish well.
Leave well.
Yeah, and
Do you still want to finish well?
I think
Sorry, that was.
no.
Don't we all want to finish well?
Let's cross that line, hey?
More than just church life.
Yeah, but I think I did, and it was a case of there being, again, this is very church language, but there was good fruit in our lives. And the people that I was working with that were not on board just had a real hard time with saying that both could exist, that you could be gay or queer or bi or trans and love the Lord and
produce good fruit.
And there is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, like all of.
They still know the word.
I do because it's a bit of a compass for my life now. Like
No,
if
100%.
I've got these things and I am feeling like I am close to God, and so I gave them like I said, I wanted to finish well, and I gave them way more notice than I should have, and 2 months it was just utter heartbreak to continue to worship lead and people going, well, where's your like, why is Jesse not around? And and again just going, yeah, this is what's happening, and and this is why I'm leaving, and so 2 months, and
So Jesse had dropped the mic.
yeah.
But you had to pick it up
Yeah.
and continue to sing on a Sunday.
Gaz had it
Jesse-
really hard through that time.
And Jesse would sit and watch. So Jesse sat and watched me, and I was like, and I'm doing this for both of us, right? Like,
you would
just cry.
I would
It was
just
so
cry.
painful.
And I remember the last service, I got to the last song, and I was just like, church, like I just started crying. I was like, I don't know if I can sing this song. It's going to be the last song that I ever lead at this church. And you could just like hear a pin drop, like everyone just, and it was 10,000 Reasons, a classic.
It is a classic.
And everyone just sang for us.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I had to. And so there was this grace that existed in this like terrible, hard time that the congregation, which didn't understand everything fully, was still very supportive of, from a lens of understanding that this family is going through a hard time.
Sure.
And I can think of seeing my parents and Jesse sitting there, and that wrapped up. And I was hosting a podcast at the church, and they were like, yeah, still stick around and do the podcast. We never recorded another, after my contract finished, I never did another episode. I can't even find.
Just be lying,
I
man.
can't even find those episodes. Like, they took it down. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
gosh, I really, because like I really
Every
loved it.
sermon
Like I
ever
said at the
preached
start.
ripped the same week. I don't have any record.
Do you know what? Before this goes on, I better scour the YouTube and see if there's anything left for memories.
The archives.
But yeah, so that was it. And so we kind of like, all of the creative energy and love you just poured into that machine of like service after service, and we just had all this space to like fill with whatever we wanted now.
We can make TikToks. We have time. We have time to do like we can do whatever we wanted after that, which was
So was it because there's freedom to then create other things,
Yeah.
but there's also this void left.
Yeah.
Of what I've
100%.
just left and moved out of,
Yeah.
this community that I've just poured into for however many years,
Yeah.
that's the void.
It was half our lives. Like, I was 14 when I started there, 28 when I left.
Wow.
Like, it was,
Huge.
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
And how do you, like a lot of people in those situations that we've met and talked to, walk away feeling really bitter, and it almost ends their will to go on, and it sort of puts a full stop.
Yeah.
You guys have sort of like changed the game a little bit in that you've been able to allow that creativity to be refocused,
Yeah.
and that energy to be refocused into something
Yeah.
pretty
That's
awesome.
very kind words.
I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How did you? How was it? How did you not stay bitter but get better?
Yeah.
Well,
There's a slogan.
come on.
I wasn't preaching.
That's a big preach.
That's a preach.
That'll preach.
For me, it was, well, I have to find somewhere to sing. Like, I couldn't just not sing anymore. Like, I really missed singing. So I started looking for opportunities. And someone, our friend Tarek, who lives in London, he was from Melbourne, a musical theatre performer. He's on the West End and in big Disney movies, like he did Little Mermaid and Mary Poppins Returns. Like
What
so
a friend.
cool.
What a
He's
friend
like
to have.
such a talent. And I had interviewed him on like a blog that I used to run, or like quite passionately, my little Disney blog. And
they
we
didn't
had
know.
connected.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Let's get into it. Everybody knew.
No, they
Hang on a
all
second.
knew.
Everybody
They all
knew.
It's like, let's not like.
It's like, oh, we always knew. Then what's the problem?
Exactly.
If you knew.
I mean,
That's the
Anyway.
thing. But
Disney
Tarek
blog.
posted on his story like
have to
that
tell
a
us now.
local, it's probably around here somewhere, like a local theatre company was doing this show called Once on This Island,
Yeah.
looking for like people of the African diaspora to come and act and sing. And I was like, great, let me just apply. Like, let's see if I get it. I got given like the male lead, like the Disney Prince character in that. And
Prince.
well, yes. Like I said, at the time,
We were still him at
we were
this
still
stage.
hemming our way through life. And I did that, and months later, I went from this tiny little community theatre to like auditioning for a show at the Sydney Opera House, and then booking it like very quickly. Booked it on a self-tape.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, like didn't get called in for a callback, just sent in a tape, and then 4 days later received an email like, "Congrats, you got the role." See
show is this?
This is Fangirls.
Oh, I love Fangirls.
Yes,
Right?
we love Fangirls. I
love
got to do the revival at the Sydney Opera House. And that was my first professional gig. And I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, like I remember
is
being
this
in
a dream?
Fountain Gate going, you got it?
What?
But like, had
When?
never sent in a self-tape audition before.
Didn't
like,
have an agent.
Didn't have an agent, nothing.
Like,
but
nothing.
it all came from that, like, I just have to sing, like, let me just, like, go and do some theatre. Because I was studying drama. We'd always done drama. Like,
Yeah.
even in church, we were doing drama and dance and in school. So I was like, let's just, like, go in, like, get into it a bit more. Next minute, Sydney Opera House. And that just led on to the next thing, which led on to the next thing.
Like you were rehearsing Fangirls in the same building that Anne Juliet was doing auditions. Like it was
It
just
all kind of just spiraled
Yeah.
into each other, and I wasn't quite sure that it would. I was like, if I just do Fangirls, it would be such a dream come true. But like, I really want to keep going. Like, I was like
Yeah.
hunting for an agent to try and get me into rooms, but also getting into rooms without an agent. So like, booked Anne Juliet without an agent as well, which is like my big break in terms of musical theatre. And at the same time, Gaz was auditioning for Choir Boy.
Yeah.
Well, just soon after. I think, Choir Boy and Juliet was still auditioning at the same time, and I was also auditioning for Choir Boy. But
This is 2022, and
Yeah.
around the time where finally we were starting to get language around gender as well.
Yeah.
Right.
By working with other queer
Yeah.
folk in theatre and being like, oh, so I get non-binary now. Like, I actually understand
Yeah.
what that is. Because I remember the first non-binary person I met, and I was like really defensive of this person. Meanwhile, misgendering them like roots down. I was like, she's non-binary. Don't you get and they were just looking at me like, Diva, what is going on? But I just didn't know.
we
But
all
like
still do it.
getting to
Yeah.
know the
Yeah.
community, I was like, oh wait, I fully understand it now. And also that is 100% who I am.
Yeah.
So it was like all of these things happening simultaneously. And I remember messaging Gaz.
Simultaneously, but like apart. So Jesse's in Sydney, like
Yeah.
doing this show with all these like gender diverse people.
We said
And-
with whores.
So with all
Let me tell you, they were whores. No, they were. And they know. And they know.
no, with all these gorgeous
Beautiful,
gender
talented people that we
Yeah.
love. Yeah.
And I was again just reading, like that's all I had, and I came across this gorgeous like graphic novel called Gender Queer, which like talks about gender identity and being non-binary, and like every page I turned I was like, this is me. Like how is it that like I was made to feel that I was alone or different and or like unique, but no, like this is like, I just could not believe this is me. So I quietly changed my pronouns
Very quietly.
Didn't even tell Jesse. Quietly changed my pronouns in my Instagram to he, they. And then went up to Sydney to like see the end of Fangirls, and Jesse's like, I'm non-binary. I was like, yeah, I am too. Like, I already changed my pronouns. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? And they're like, this is just like,
Gaz has always been the type of person of just like, this is me. if you clock it, you clock it.
If you clock it, you
but,
clock it. I'm like,
Gaz didn't feel the need to like write a post for their birthday and come out. Like that was very me. And then Gaz had this different way of being, and they complement each other well.
I did a post in my own way. I remember I did a repentance post, and I remember like it was like an iOS press release. Like typed it in my notes app, screenshotted it to like my tiles, and just apologized and said the sin that has been keeping me far from God has been homophobia, transphobia, and queerphobia. That is what has kept me far from God and kept me far from my neighbor, and I'm repenting of that today. And that was like, people were like, oh my gosh, like, so that was, I guess, a coming out in a way, but I just wanted to make it known before I ventured more into like this industry, which is so beautiful and so diverse and queer, that no, I am a safe, like I am working to be a safe place. I am one. I will learn, and I am going to be the person now that I needed back then. And so, yeah.
Jesse, you touched on like those people that then influenced you because you'd found community again.
Yes.
Right? And and they're starting to influence you in different ways and give you new language and open, so you can open and broaden and all of those sorts of things.
Absolutely.
Like, is that what you found? Like, you found that sense of belonging, that sense
100%.
of these are my people now.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Well, doing the community theatre show, I started to have questions. I was like, look, y'all, like, I don't know, but I think they might be a part of this. And they were like, should we try and like incorporate that into like the way we refer to you? And I was like, please do. But they were also just like learning and didn't know. And so nothing like it was a little spark, but it didn't spark into flame. And then when I did Fangirls, I was like the only he/him in the group. And Blake Applefist, who was Romeo and Juliet, was our Harry Styles character. And they were like, I had so many questions, and they were so gracious and answered so many questions. And it was like in a conversation with them that it really clicked for me. But outside of just like those NBs, there was just so much love from the other girls. And I felt like back in like high school drama class, that safe little like protective group, it was like the same thing, but we're getting paid to do this, and it was like kind of
Yes.
But I'm so I still have them as my my laptop like screensaver, my Fangirls cast. They just have like they changed my life, so I'm super grateful for that show and for that group. Yeah.
Now, I've had the pleasure of seeing you both play roles where you played characters that were non-binary, gender diverse characters.
Yes.
How does that feel to get to play yourself, basically? Like, get to live that out on stage? Because there's not many roles that are written for gender
Shame,
diverse
and we're
people.
probably getting side eyes from a lot of the theatre community who want
The
that
Dutlow
opportunity
siblings
to
playing non-binary characters in a
"No."
jukebox musical.
Save some for the rest of us.
When I booked May, I was still very much early on in my journey, and I think they saw that in me. The casting team saw that in me, which meant that I shouldn't say perfect for the role, but I was able to bring that to the role of like still having questions and figuring it out. And like, I didn't know how to do a stitch of makeup, and learning how to express myself through that, which I now like is a staple. But I have so much pride in the roles that both of us have been able to play. Because we just didn't have access to that as young people. And to have young people come up to us and be like, I brought my mum to see this as my way of coming out to her, or like, that is like such a privilege to hold that space for people and give that representation. So when I went to see Head Over Heels in Sydney, this one, I was just like beside myself because we've just really have come such a long way to have that pride in ourselves. We always did our best to be ourselves, but we were so deeply misunderstanding of our own identities and our own selves that to now see like us in our 30s now, recently driving to our ex-pastor's house for Easter Monday lunch, who like I said is a close friend of ours now.
It's
and
chosen fam now.
has completely like done a 180. We've just like repaired our relationship, but they've also done so much work as a family with their kids, and Anyway, I'm driving on Easter Monday, listening to the new Ray album.
It's so good.
Yes.
Have you guys listened to it
Yes,
yet?
I was listening to Joy this afternoon.
So
I
good.
love
What's the
that.
song?
Take me to church, Ray.
Yes,
Like
she
I
has.
got up to Lifeboat and drove past, like on our way to their house, we drove past where our old church used to meet. And I'm just like starting to cry. And I was like, that song is just like, there's something in there. There's something in that song. But yeah, and then I was just bawling.
Yeah.
Just realizing how far we've come. So I'm just really grateful that these roles actually, they're like little flags in the in the
Yeah.
road that we can look back to and be like, wow, we actually
And
did
it's-
that.
And I hope that the roles that we say yes to are language and representation for people that like simply didn't, because like transness and being non-binary has always been a part of like who we are. Like we hated men's ministry. Like you know what I mean? Like leading worship. I remember
We all hated men's
We
like I remember being on
The men hated
stage.
men's ministry.
I remember being on stage with like
Nobody
a
went.
motorbike next to me, and I'm like, what am I doing here? And then they were like,
This is not me.
they were, yeah, this is not me. And then we would sneak into like women's ministry and like
Oh,
sit
they
in
were
the
the best of
back.
beds.
Best.
I'd be like, I'll volunteer for sisterhood. I will volunteer for
catering,
colour conference.
Catering alone.
The gifts you'd get.
The
always
gift bags,
better, yeah.
everything.
So,
A little Dare Girl
speakers.
keychain.
The scarves.
But I think that's the problem that
Right.
those of us in the queer community face
Right.
growing up in church is that you're taught these different gender roles so clearly
like
separated.
the binary is it's
Yes.
so important to the whole system.
Yeah. That men are men, women are women.
Yeah.
I was reflecting on some of my life, and I was writing some stuff down, and I was talking about how one day I gave some announcements at church when I was 18.
Yeah.
And the senior pastor's wife, after I got down, said, Aaron, it's a little bit flamboyant. So you might want to turn that
They
down."
love that word.
And straight away, for me, that was, I've got to
Yeah.
lower my
Gotta
voice.
turn
I've got
it
to
down.
stop moving my
Yeah.
hands as much. I've got to be
Yeah.
less expressive because that could out
Yes.
me. And like getting to see you play Anne Juliet was the first. I was saying this before we started recording. The first musical I saw out of lockdown, just after I'd come out. And my friends from work took me there, supportive little, come on, we're going to take you gay bars, we're going to take you here, we're going to take you there. We went
the
to
theatre.
Angela, and in interval, I am bawling my eyes out, and my friend Rox is like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I needed
Yeah.
that person,
Yeah.
like
That character.
Special.
like who was, you're right, questioning and still not sure, but
Yeah.
that was like, yeah, I get that. I'm not sure, but I get to see little glimpses of this. I'm not masculine. I'm not
Yeah.
the motorbike guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
so-
you can be a part of the girl group that gets to go to Paris. Like it was that. Like I'll never forget just being in rehearsals and like looking to my left and right and being like, I like get treated like I can be a part of this girl group. Like it was like such a special moment for me. And then later in the piece, get to be a part of the boy band as well. Like
Yeah.
I never got to be a part of either of those really growing up. Like it was always like Jesse's friends with the girls, but I couldn't go to sleepovers because I'm a boy.
Yeah.
But then like scared out of my skin when it comes to school camps because I have to pick a group of boys to sleep in in the same
Yeah.
room as. And thankfully there were like kind souls along the way that were like actually decent humans. But like high school sucked in a Christian school. Like it was really hard. So to be able to like exist in both of those and then also like have my own moments in the piece where I was like neither of those things. There's like the pink songs, the blue songs, and then the purple songs for me.
yes.
And I just like, that's just such a fantastic piece. And I'm so glad that it resonated with you. Like
was
that's so special to
It was
hear.
a really
Nice.
special
Part of Aaron's healing journey.
And same here. Like, and, like
Yeah.
you just Gaz came. How many times did you come to Aunt Julia?
A good dozen or more.
Like
Yeah.
just couldn't
Over 2
stop-
years is not that bad.
Couldn't stop them from coming, which just
That's
it just
so great.
yeah. And you can't stop me from going. I just went a couple months ago to Broadway to see it again. I was like, I'm back. like
back,
I just
yeah.
love
In
it.
Trump's America, it must be really good to risk it.
In this economy. Yeah.
Literally.
What
Yeah.
about, because you talk about like driving past the church and being like, and all of that, like, oh gosh, look how far we've come. Like, is there any part of that you still hang on to? Like, where's not where's church now? Where's God now in your story?
Yeah.
Like, do you still have a faith? Are you still practicing? Are you still singing worship songs?
Yeah, we still have a faith.
Yes. Yes. I give myself the ick sometimes about it, but I do still have a faith. And for example, I watched The Prince of Egypt the other day, and I was like, "Oh, this is Bible, girl. Like, this is the truth, the way, the life." Like, I was like, not me, like, really buying into this like propaganda. I love it, this religious like propaganda. But it still resonates with me in ways.
Yeah.
I don't have the CDs. I'm getting rid of some things. I'm just like, this doesn't fit me anymore. But there are things that still fit me, and I am not ashamed to admit that. Yeah. So I do give myself the ick sometimes, though.
I think I have a faith. I don't know if Christian is a label that I feel comfortable putting on myself with how that is being acted out in the world today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that there is a God that is love. I believe that there is love, and I believe that there is a Holy Spirit that does bring us closer together. And we see that in all spaces, at concerts, at Disneyland. Like, there's this thing that, tries to pull humanity together. And so, yeah. And I think Jesus was an awesome dude. And I hope...
Dude.
That's great.
So straight.
Can we cut that out?
Doesn't match the brand. It's off-brand.
Let's take that again. Jesus was what?
An awesome person.
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns.
And I reckon if we all lived a little bit more like him, we'd probably do better for ourselves.
100%.
Yeah.
With the true representation of who he is.
Yeah.
And what he actually stood for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that one, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you probably understand, like, there's a lot of rethinking and unlearning and relearning, like prayer for me now. And, all of that, all of the things that you were taught that, like, this is a non-negotiable.
Sure.
I just don't have those anymore. I'm very happy to live in the mystery and live with questions and be okay with not knowing for certain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very okay with that. And living with now, all I have to give is love. Like, that's a certainty. I can count on that.
That's beautiful.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think living in the mystery is the best.
Yeah.
I think it's what Jesus wants.
Yeah.
Like, it's if you look at the Gospels and, like, Thomas doubting, he's the one that it was the most, like, everyone else was like, Jesus is alive. And he's like, what? No,
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And Jesus was like, blessed are you.
Yeah.
He was the first questioning.
He was the
Not a
first
deconstructor.
deconstructor.
It wasn't even constructed.
Jesus blessed the guy. And so
Yeah.
I think, like, living in that mystery is exactly how, like,
And living in between. Like, God made male and female. God is the Alpha and Omega. Do we not believe that, like, he's in the middle of
Come on.
the beginning and end as well? Like, this beautiful spectrum of humanity and creation, like, that God...
He also created so many more things than just male and female. It's
Right.
like, they love to just be like the binary, and you're like, no.
no.
Like,
What about-
let's just look at intersex people.
Yeah, exactly
That's
right.
like- and then that's like a real, spanner in the works for them. They're like, wait, what? Like, yeah, do you know a redhead? Yeah, you might know an intersex person. It's like, they're like, oh, wait. Like, they don't know. But, like, we can't, like, that should be celebrated as part of God's image also.
Yeah.
Yes!
And so should non-binary and trans. Like, it is, like, that is the image of God. So I think that,
100%. We had Steph Fenton on the podcast last season, it was season 1, who just, like, speaks so beautifully in her book and then on the podcast in their book. And on
Is
the
that
podcast.
is that the episode you're talking about, like breaking your brain? Like, I heard a lot of that language. I was like, I loved that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
because
really
I hadn't
shattering
actually
my
explored
thinking.
that side of things yet.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I've
brilliant.
deconstructed the homosexual side.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd gone through with the homosexual stuff, but I think what they opened my eyes to was, like, more than trans people should be accepted and welcomed into the church. I think that's as far as I'd gotten. And they were like, no, they can open our eyes to so much more of who God is.
Yeah.
And I was like that actually like have a prophetic gift in a way. Like we need them to actually to reveal more of God to us. And I'm just like I'd gone from
Absolutely.
hang on a second, we're not just inviting them in the door and welcoming it. We actually need them on stage to share about their experience, to really kind of open our eyes and our hearts more to who God is. I'm like, yes.
They talk about freedom, but
More.
there's so much freedom that we get to experience that we want to share.
Yeah.
You, like as the queer community, like Gaz wants to lead worship in a heel.
Let's have it one day, I guess.
Quickly made Easter service.
I'm so excited.
So excited.
Keep saying we're not starting a
Queer
church.
stuff.
You know.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Queer stuff.
I had last week someone who I know from my old life who came up to me and we were talking about the LGBT community and they said, well, there's no trans people in the Bible.
Oh,
And I
See
said,
ya.
well,
okay.
well. Let me blow your mind.
Yeah, it's
I was like, do you know that Philip, a disciple of Jesus, baptized a trans person and welcomed them into the church when they were excommunicated? And they're like, no,
excommunicado.
no way. I was like,
Gag.
yeah, find the passage, go on.
Gag.
And then
I mean, it was a eunuch, but
yeah,
hello.
and
Different language.
and we have to. I mean, this isn't a conversation that's its own can of worms, but like, who's decided what we know as the Bible today, and how many people's accounts of their encounters with God have not been included in that book of 66, right? Like, so
And if it's the living word, it could potentially still be being written. Right?
yeah,
We're adding
exactly.
pages to it just right now. This is-
Yeah,
We don't know anything about like those people in those books. Like there's the protagonists in all these stories and there's so much you don't know about them. There's so much that Jesus didn't say that Jesus did say that we don't know what he said because it's not written down. So it's like, what do you really know about a person's gender? Just because it had a certain pronoun there doesn't mean anything about a person's gender.
And he
Also,
didn't write any of
what
it.
do you-
Other
Yeah.
people.
100%. Where's the
friend said 5
autobiography?
years ago?
nah.
How could you write a word for word
Yeah.
5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later?
Exactly.
It doesn't mean there's like nothing
course-
good in there, but like I just think it's limited, and I don't think Christians, or we as people of faith, like are comfortable with admitting that there are limits to these texts.
Yes.
Like I just see the limits, and I go, well, how can you? It was translated by this small group of men. Like in that of itself, there were no women in the room.
Yeah.
There's limits, and it's like it
Yes.
doesn't mean that it can't bring you joy or bring you peace, but there are limits to it. Just like admit it, you know. And there's freedom in that, even admitting it, because that's the truth. So I just, it's frustrating, but maybe we'll get there. Some people won't, but I'm happy to leave some people behind. No. Like,
We're having this conversation at the moment. Like, how much effort do you put in to try and change someone's mind? Yeah.
yeah, we had a little argument. No, not argument. Just like
Argument is a
slight
strong word.
Just like a little debate back and
Yeah.
forth. I was like, no, I'm not giving you a call when you said something homophobic or transphobic. Like, you might get a good block.
Jesse loves a block.
You might get a smooth block from me. Like,
You'll get a mute from me.
because it's like there's this rhetoric that's like, how do we progress? And it's not, Gaz did say this, but it wasn't from you. But like, there's this like, how do we progress if we don't like take people along with? I was like, sometimes we won't progress because we're trying to drag this person. How am I supposed to run forward? Like, I just want to run in a heel.
Which is
But that also shows how far you guys have come.
Yeah.
Like, in so many ways, when you're just starting out and coming out and everything's so confusing and everything's heartbreaking, you want to try and bring everyone along with you.
yeah.
But you've come so far to be able to be like, I can't bring everyone along.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I don't love you. It's just, like, I gotta go.
I think that was
I got to run my own race here.
yeah. We've seen like some like gorgeous progress in our family, like our parents as well. Like I decided, okay, Dad, I can't have the Sodom and Gomorrah chat again. Like I can't explain that one to you again. So I kind of just left it for a while. And then all of a sudden, like Dad just kind of lent in and was like, the other day he sent me a picture. He collects these like leather
bless his
Bibles.
heart.
He collects these leather Bibles and it's always an eye roll for us, like another leather Bible for the storage, like whatever. And he sent me this picture of like the map inside the cover and like the end papers, and he was like, Gaz, it doesn't say Israel, it says Palestine. I was like,
Let's get into it.
and Dad was like, what do you know about this? I was like, I know a little. You want to know?
Coffee?
So like once I like kind of, again, Christian word, surrendered to the fact that I can't pull everyone off. Just tired of pulling people. I left the communication channel open, didn't block, unmute if I don't want to see it.
Some people deserve to be blocked though.
It's
Your parents, like, okay, you might not want to block them.
Back into it.
And I'm glad we did it.
Do you know what? I think it's like, well, what I would do now with them is like Mel Robbins, let them. Like, let them be them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to... If you want to have the conversation, I'm happy to have it with you. But if you're not going to change, if you're not willing to, this is where I'm going. You're welcome to come with me. But if not...
But I'm not going to waste my time sitting here with you.
No, because the energy that can be invested into as these beautiful people that you mentioned before about, the messages that you're getting about, I brought my mum to that production so I could come out, that you could be responding to that person.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Saying, thank you so
100%.
much. Like that's where our energy needs to go.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Pleasure.
I keep saying you guys, which is gendered language, I know.
How do you feel about that?
I say that to all my female friends as well. But
Yes.
But
I
it
know
is
some
gendered language. How do you
MDs
feel
don't
about
like
that?
the guys, but I'm not fussed by
I need
that.
to stop.
That's
Okay.
totally fine.
Just stop too.
We love you, girls.
Yes,
I'm also using that with my friend too, like from heated rivalry, like the whole girl. Like that is my response.
Love
daily
it,
now.
love it.
Tell us. Thinking back to like some of those queer kids that like the versions of you that are going through churches now.
Yeah.
Like what would you say to those kids? The ones that are in youth group and are, that don't want to be forced into men's ministry.
Yeah.
That want to be singing on stage or that want to be doing drama or in theatre but are feeling like they're stuck in church or having to hide themselves in church. What would you say to them?
I like tear up just thinking of it. I think especially for young people like in their teens, you are going through so many changes in your body, just in the way you think about the world and how you see the world. And all I can say is, like, if you're going to resist anything, resist shame.
Yeah.
Resist hurtful ideologies, question things that cause harm.
Yeah.
Speak up about those things. Find your spark. Find the thing that makes you come alive, and like don't let go of that thing. For those, like even this applies so much to queer folk, but it applies to everyone. Like we can show, like things that we embody can show cishet folks so much about being themselves as well, and it sets them free. But for the young people in church that are just dying to not let their family down, to not let God down, I just would say that it gets better, and you might let some people down along the way, but if you just stay true to you, and you can at least at the end of the day lay your head on the pillow and say you didn't let yourself down, like that's a win. And I cherish that little win a lot of days when I feel like the alpha bar, everyone's against me. My tarot, I did a tarot reading. I have a wicked tarot deck, and it was like, you are alpha bar. And I was like, period. And it's like, everyone's against you. And sometimes people are going to be against you, but if you stay true to who you are, then you have that peace of mind, of like in your heart that you can hold on to. And they'll either catch up or they won't, but it gets better, and you'll find freedom outside of these closed walls. There is life outside of that, and you'll find God in completely new ways. Don't let anyone try and box your views of God in, or your views of yourself in.
And I think I would say, like,
Hang on, there's a wicked tarot deck.
there is.
I need to
Baby,
get
you
this.
do. I got it from Big W. It wasn't even expensive,
wasn't
but it's
even-
actually really good. I really enjoy it. It was my first deck, and I like occasionally bring it up. I have a Meryl Streep tarot deck as well.
How
Yes.
are
That's a more traditional. I don't use it as much because I don't actually know the traditional tarot like icon.
Meryl is more
That one's
traditional.
like
likes the pretty colors and
yes.
illustrations.
No, the
Like,
Wicked one has its own wording of like
Right.
the coins, the broomsticks,
Pentacles,
the
yes,
it
wands,
has all of these
right.
different things. Whereas the Meryl one just has pictures of her and all her iconic roles with the traditional wording that I'm still getting to know. So
Yes.
I don't use that one too much. But there's like a Death Becomes Her one. There's obviously Devil Wears Prada. So yeah, get yourself a little Wicked tarot deck.
Oh, this is,
And that's for the young queer kids as well. Go and get yourself a Wicked. Yeah.
get yourself down to Big W. And get yourself back.
What would you say?
I'd say that when you feel or when you think that there won't be anyone, there will be. There will be people that totally understand you for who you are, that will accept you for who you are. This world can be really cruel and dark sometimes, even in church spaces. But yeah, there will be people that can embrace you for exactly who you are.
The Kims of the world.
Yeah.
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 Love.
Love you, Kim and Maria. Wes and Arti as well. Thanks for being our chosen family.
We love
Shout
you.
out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming on the pod.
Yes,
It's been
love
so
this,
good having you.
I'm so glad to be here. I'm a fan. Like, I don't know if you know this. I tune in.
Oh, I know. I got the messages.
Yeah, Gaz is looking for like a t-shirt at the end. Like, we get some.
T-shirt.
Guys, don't give him ideas.
A
Yeah.
smiley T-shirt. Yeah, I'm gonna make
I
one.
like that idea.
Yeah.
So gay.
We'll hand them out at the Easter service.
Make sure you buy tickets.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Pleasure.
Thanks.